Yeah.
Vanglorious Vanguard.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United Front. What you want?
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost or ran away. But when your square solid and your circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity, tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick the can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And US with KBA is a win-win. 1K.
Go hard, 40 in the go yard, 100,000 cash in the stash. I can show y'all better than I can tell. Open it when that smell hit your nostrils, you know it's that raw, that fish scale, nigga. Go hard, 40 in the go yard, 100,000 cash in the stash. I can show y'all better than I can tell. Open it when that smell hit your nostrils, you know it's that raw, that fish scale, nigga.
Roll the dice with life and hope I never crap out. Dirty sheet, mattress on the floor in the trap house. Calculating numbers, wonder what this brick will bring. If I stay to 6 a.m. and finish the whole thing. Trap hard, God, inshallah. Live every day like it's your last. You ain't promised tomorrow, so fuck it, nigga, I'ma do it big. Extendo in the SIG, tinted windows on the Benz. AMG 63, you know what it is. You know my temperature, nigga, you know I'm with the shit. Strictly biz, but I'll give a pass if you with the kids. Witness this, greatness on display. Like my Haitian niggas say, South by Saint. Now we'll lay a loaded drum in the AK squeeze. 100 niggas bleed. Go through brick walls and knock down trees like wind from Hurricane Steve. I'm with the game need. Here's what the game can do without that trolling and chasing clout. I'm holding them in the
Go hard, 40 in the go yard, 100,000 cash in the stash. I can show y'all better than I can tell. Open it when that smell hit your nostrils, you know it's that raw, that fish scale, nigga. Go hard, 40 in the go yard, 100,000 cash in the stash. I can show y'all better than I can tell. Open it when that smell hit your nostrils, you know it's that raw, that fish scale, nigga.
Fuck we talking about, all these beats that I'm chalking out. I mean on all accounts, it's so easy to log you out. That market sound, kiss my hand, I'm Godfather now. I signed some artists that's heartless, it's hard to calm them down. Black market appointed, every verse is anointed. Chugging off unemployment, trademark and coined it. I mean the ship already sails, it is a voyage. Contact better avoided, tagging for enjoyment. Ayo, they that, time to get that made back. Always gotta stay strapped, when it's war just spray that. Say less, level for a vest, can't penetrate that. Since we was bumping tape that, I had the fast buzz boots with the A-Rex. I had to learn the rules and I was paid less. Studying, I stayed stressed, and they ain't give me nothing, had to take next. It's all about the limits, in this game you got no business. They done pushed you out with killers, running routes about the pivot. What's Mike without the pivot? What's life without commitment? This life that I've been living, crazy, made me out the villain. I'm mainly out here building, my niggas, we out for millions. What's rap without the feeling? We dealing, you out here chilling. Ain't nobody out here playing games but you, Smokey. Look you in your eyes like Mike did when he blew Bodie. This ain't no wiretap, this the Dawn Messiah back. Shoot at me, I fire back, till ain't no replying back.
Go hard, 40 in the go yard, 100,000 cash in the stash. I can show y'all stash. I can show y'all better than I can tell. Open it when that smell hit your nostrils. You know it's that raw, that fish scale, nigga.
Yeah. That's how you start off the show. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you start off the show. I'm a Jersey dude, but I feel like New York right now. You understand? We got the Jersey Queen in the building. We got the New York Queen in the building. BX, the birthplace of hip hop, in the building. Jazzie J, CEO of something for the culture. You understand what I'm saying? We here collaborating live. Y'all see me on her platform. It's going down. You understand what I'm saying? And we got the dream team here today. You understand what I'm saying? Let's bring in our brother, man. Our brother with a remarkable platform. They sweeping across the nation. They say they trying to keep up with me. I'm trying to keep up with both of them. You understand what I'm saying? So let's get into the finest of black podcasts right here. You understand? No Idea original podcast on mastermind. He like the Abbott of the clan over there. You understand what I'm saying? They got the Wu-Tang clan going on over there, and he the Abbott. Shout out to Shanon, man. Shanon,
peace. Thank you, Knowledge. Thank you for having me. What's up, Jazzie? How you doing tonight?
What's going on, bro?
All love. West BX.
Something for the culture, man. Word. For real. So yeah, definitely excited to have y'all on. Excited to have our special guest, man. It's been a long time coming, trying to connect schedules today. Definitely wanted to send a strong condolence to our brother DJ K Slay, you know, the drama king, and a happy born day to another Queens native. You understand what I'm saying? The reason why I rocked the ball head for like 20 years, Fredro Star, Dro Star, you understand? So salute to Onyx. You see what I'm saying? And the Queen's legacy. So we got a member of the Queen's legacy in the building right now. One who continued to keep that gutter sound alive. You know, I think he was like one of the most adaptable, you know, cats out there as far as style, versatility. You know, I heard him switch up styles on a lot of different joints too. You see what I'm saying? Over the years. And he like a bomb player that you need on the court. He could do anything on the court. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so that's a beautiful thing, man. I'm just waiting for him to get his joint together so I can bring him in. But if y'all got any thoughts real quick on the K-Slay situation, you know what I mean? Y'all know my personal story. I had a chance to, you know, build with our brother for about 3 hours one night. At 2 o'clock in the morning, he called me. We was on the phone, and they said, you know, when you about to go.
Yeah.
From our conversation, just reflecting back, we were supposed to do an interview, and I did the interview on the phone for 3 hours. I'm gonna tell you that. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all just ain't get to see it, but the sincerity that was in his heart and how he wanted to be remembered, it made me think of you, Jazzie, because you know you always ask what would you want your legacy to be.
Yeah.
You know, so for all of the drama king stuff that we know K Slay for, we should truly take a moment and honor what he was really seeking to do back with hip hop. You see what I'm saying? And all of the people he introduced us to, you know, the functionality of the DJ, to break records, to break artists, to give us, to be edgy with it. You see what I'm saying? To be very edgy with it and to stand on it. You know, from my recollection, he started off as an MC. You see what I'm saying? So that would kind of give an in into, you know, how he was moving. You know, we wouldn't know a Papoose, we wouldn't know a RJ Payne, and the list goes on and on if he wasn't courageous enough to break records where, you know, quote unquote payola was the order of the day. You see what I'm saying? So he was still giving us artists, and then you see what his collaborations, bringing all of those people together on one track on so many, you know, offerings at the end. I kind of think that he had an inkling, you know, he was looking to clean up some of the missteps and some of the miscommunication and bridging people back together on some love, on some positive, and on some true hip hop. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Making a bridge between the old and the new, because it wasn't just, elder cats. It was, everybody on the joint from Melly Mel down to, some people that's new. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to honor his legacy from that perspective in regards to how I remember him. You know what I'm saying? So your recollection matters too. You know what I mean? So
that brother to me embodied hip hop. Like he was everything, every element you could imagine, from the graffiti to the MCing to the DJing. Just a dude that when you think of hip hop, like to me, he's like hip hop in its purest form. One of the things I loved about K Slade more than anything is that K Slade to me was a dude that, when he started making his albums, at any given time, you may get a Aaron Hall, who we haven't heard from in many years, Aaron Hall on the track. It's just like you could be from any like you were saying, like Melly Mel, you could be from any generation and get light on K Slade. And to me, the other thing that I think that K Slade don't get enough credit for is I think K Slade, to me, is at the forefront of breaking a lot of new female MCs. Like you see, like the Hustle, the Dirty Diana, like just giving them opportunity, and he's bringing them up to bringing them up to Sirius XM and letting them get shine and stuff like that. And he was another big moment in hip hop. The dude broke ether. He was the first person I remember that played ether. And I just think that his loss is going to be something that it's going to be understated. Like people aren't going to realize until that void is really there. That this is exactly what his contribution was to hip hop.
Indeed. It's going to be a tremendous loss indeed. I mean, he's brought so many, like you said, to the forefront, so many different elements to hip hop, period. I mean, I didn't have a close personal relationship with him. My relationship was more with his brothers. And shout out to them. I know they're kind of taking it, rough. So my condolences to him and his family. But definitely a tremendous loss indeed.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Or like we were saying before we got on, it's like we just went through like a traumatic ass year in regards to hip hop losses and just like losses in general surrounding different, genres of entertainment and all. You see what I'm saying? Like, X is still fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rob is still fresh. Like, it shit hurt. Like, we was on with Young Hump. Shock G was still fresh. You see what I'm saying? Biz Marquis is still fresh. You know what I'm saying? Exact is still fresh. Like, you barely getting through, situations like that from a music perspective and then an impact perspective. And then we heard things. You see what I'm saying? We heard the things about, the whole hospital situation. I don't really want to get into any of that, but like there's a lot. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot. And then to get a reason why we would hear everybody who could still bring everybody together. You see what I'm saying? Like, he could bring everybody together. Like, Jada and Queen Latifah was on a song together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how iconic that is. Like he pulled that off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen him with Beans and Freeway. I seen him I seen him like he was on a mission, like really on like an evangelist hip hop mission, literally. Bringing everybody together, like, I seen Raekwon and Ghost on the same track with Griselda. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you just see Luke and Jada, like, all of that. So, you, like, man, our jobs be so important. I think we kind of take them lightly, because we do so many things. We got a lot of stuff going on. Our narrative is very important.
Yeah.
Our narrative is so important. There's so many things going on. And there's a lot of revisionism out there. So it's like, that's the story? Because we're not telling it, and because we're not telling it in the forefront, people are remaking history. You see what I'm saying? So, like in his case, he was able to do some things great so he could be remembered in perfection. You see what I'm saying? But there's cats out here that are doing some other type of stuff with things that happen, and they're pushing themselves up like they was there. Like, I know you wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for a fact you went there. Like, so, like, what are you doing right now? But,
Yo, you know what the other thing I loved about K Slay though is I never had an opportunity to meet him personally, but he's just a dude who gave me the impression that he did it his way. Like, he wasn't one of those dudes that was like on their knees.
Yeah.
He said whatever he wanted to say to whoever it was. You know, at the time when Jay-Z was the biggest artist in the game, you know, for him to even drop Ether, for him to stand behind Nas when Nas was doing the video on the Polo Grounds for Made You Look and co-sign it, you know, that was basically sealing the deal for him that you work with Jay-Z, you ain't gonna have the opportunity to work with Jay-Z at this point. But for him to actually say, like, yo, I'm just a man of integrity, and if this is what I believe in and this is what I'm standing behind, I'm gonna stand behind that. And that's just always what I got from him. You know, anytime you heard K Slay's name mentioned, like, I remember listening to the radio at night, and as soon as you hit a warning, the drama, you knew what it was. And
right.
You know, it was the time when Clue and Envy and all these dudes was putting out these mixtapes, and then all of a sudden everybody, you know, out of nowhere, boom, K Slay came, and it was almost equivalent to like Clue and Envy was like the bad boy, the shiny suit stuff, and K Slay was just the hard underground rugged stuff. And it was like, damn, like, yo, dude was a breath of fresh air. You know, to see him gone is like, you know, how you call it? Like, again, like when you think of all those different elements of hip hop combined in one person, you know, like, yo, this dude is just he was a beacon for hip hop. And I'm telling you, like, all those artists that we had the opportunity to see collaborate, you probably never see that again. Like, you know, even though you don't need to have people in the same room in this day and age to record, but you got to have some level of camaraderie. You got to be that conduit to bring these people together to make this pop off. And he was that conduit that, you know, afforded us that opportunity to see all these people on these tracks. You know, who would think that a Miss Hustle could end up on a track with a Ghostface Killer, you know, or even him reaching back to his fellow DJs like DJ Doo-Wop, 100 MCs, DJ Doo-Wop. Like, it's just so much about him I think is going to be missed.
Right. You know what's unfortunate that I find that legends just like K Slay and the DMXs and the Nipsey Hussles that we have all lost as of late, you know, we don't give them their flowers while they're here. And K Slay was definitely a person that needed to be given his flowers while he was still here. I mean, and I just understand why in our culture we don't do that. We don't celebrate them while they're here as much as we do, you know, once they pass.
That's a fact. Too cool. What's that? Remember they used to say, "Well, you're too cool for school."
Right.
Yeah, that's and then that's the other part. So if they not around, we actually get the story. Remember, this whole thing was controlled by a few people, like a few magazines. So if it wasn't in a couple of those magazines, we wouldn't get it. And then that shit was in so high demand that depending on how you felt or your relationship with them is depending on how they rated you. You understand? Or what was told about you.
Yeah.
So you didn't know. So in this era now, because it's so wide open, it's a gift and a curse. So the curse is the revisionism, and the gift is the creative freedom that you have. You see what I'm saying? So there are people that are talking now that wouldn't talk. You wouldn't have never heard nothing from, you know, some of these people. So the opportunity to have that, you see what I'm saying? So the genre is vast in regards to, you know, what we do in regards to podcasting and things like that. So there's great opportunities for a lot of people to be telling, for stories to be told, but we just have to ensure that our narrative, what is really being said about us, you see what I'm saying? Control our legacy and what's being said about those ones we love, we got love for, and all of that. You see what I'm saying? So these things become very important.
Yeah, no, it's up to us to protect the culture.
Yeah,
it's up to us to protect it. If we don't, you know, 20 years from now, we look at the commercialization of hip hop. I would have never thought hip hop would have generated the kind of revenue that is generated. You know,
some little Russian girl gonna be talking about, I'm Jazzie J. This something for the culture.
Right.
Oh man, it's like, yo, remember they used to have the meme that floating around where it'd be like, I'm I'm gonna tell my kids this was Queen Latifah, a little white girl.
Right.
Yeah, man. Nah,
Little Eskimo dude and shit coming out the igloo talking about I'm shit. Nah, I'm from no ideas a bitch dude. Like, nah, what the fuck?
Nah, you know, worse than that, you're gonna be like, nah, I'm Kool Herc. I started hip hop.
Right. Started it right here in this igloo. It wasn't the Bronx.
Right.
Oh man. But nah, yo, we laugh and we joke, but it's serious. It's like it's been the culture has been so co-opted that the bug thing about it is that the same people that now want to take it from us are the people who didn't believe in it and didn't think it would last this long. Now it's been monetized to this magnitude and they see the financial value in it. Now it's like, oh, word, there's money in this. Right. You know, and it's like if we don't hold on to it and if we don't document and make sure that we pay homage to the forefathers, the founding fathers of it, then it will go away. And there will be, as you said, Knowledge, there will be that whole revisionist period where before you know it, it's going to be, you know who the first hip hop group was? It was the Beastie Boys. You know who the first true lyricist was? It was Eminem. And I'm not saying that to discredit them because they certainly had a contribution in hip hop. And they both were, you know, dope group, Beastie Boys, Eminem, dope lyricists. But you know, we don't
gave me Tourette's when you were saying it. You said
we don't need our narrative to be spun to reflect
like our history was already spun.
Yeah.
That's right. That is real. So I'm just waiting for him to get his thing together. We had some issues, technical difficulties with, I guess, Caddillac Tah. You know what I mean? That's interesting. There's a lot to that too. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot to that right there. You know, it was Murder Inc. against the world for a minute. Yeah. It went from Murder Inc. on top of the world to Murder Inc. against the world.
Right.
In a season. You know what I mean? Like the TV shows be on, like one season there's Ghost, the next season is Canaan. You know what I'm saying? It's like all that, you know. Well, I got y'all here. Let me ask y'all about that. Like the TV show. If y'all could see something like this, what we do as a TV show, you know, how would you kind of want to see it rolled out? Like, so if we had the capabilities to do like they did with the Wu-Tang series or something like they did with, you know, with BMF or whatever, how would y'all like to see, you know, this particular culture rolled out?
Yo, this is gonna bug you out. So far, after all these years, to me, the most accurate representation I've seen of hip hop culture, fucking B Street from the 80s. Oh, yo, I think that we haven't found the right person to actually capture the true essence of hip hop from a cinematic standpoint, you know.
I agree.
The reason why I say that is because if you look at a film like that, Beat Street, I always kind of compare and contrast Beat Street versus Breakin'. You look at Breakin', you could tell who had the Hollywood money based on even like the filming and the colors and all that. It was Breakin', the commercialization. You had the corporations throw money into making that go. And that's why the integrity of that film is shot. But then you look at Beat Street, where Beat Street depicts, you know, kids in the South Bronx, breakdancing, graffiti, DJing, MCing, you know, brought in some of the founding fathers to actually be in the film. Like that, to me, when you don't take corporate dollars, allows you not to have to sell out and to compromise yourself. So in this day and age where there's so much money in hip hop, it would have to be a film that would need to be done independently. And the scary thing about it to me, bro, is that it would have to be supported by us. Because let's say we had a small director say, you know what, y'all, I'm gonna put this together and I'm gonna do this or whatever it is. We couldn't be critical as fans, as consumers of the culture, and be like, nah, yo, this shit need $100 million budget or this, that, or whatever. I believe somebody could do a film on hip hop with a $1 million budget, probably better than a person with a $500 million budget. You know how you call it. I just think that to me, it's a tough nut to crack with the hands in the pocket. So many people have their hands in hip hop pockets. So I'd be surprised if we get anything that's of quality anytime soon.
I agree. I couldn't have said it better myself. I agree with you said.
Yeah. Somebody in your comments said Beat Street and Wild Style.
Yeah.
He said I did like the 2 Breaking movies. I liked them too. They were something to watch, but in comparison to
the story of the culture and hip hop, no, I don't think.
Even Crush Groove. You look at Crush Groove. Crush Groove to me was a good movie, but I still won't put Crush Groove on the level as Beat Street.
Right.
The Get Down. I wish they would have never canceled the Get Down. I like the Get Down.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's a lot of things a lot of shows and a lot of influential things that got canceled in our culture that was so needed. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of the Teen Spirit and Teen Summit, Summit, that was so influential back in the day and so needed that, you know, I'm surprised they haven't tried to, you know, jump on the train with the whole bringing it back, because that's the era that we're in right now, of bringing old stuff back. That's A Different World. They, you know, they did a lot of topics on that show. Even though it was a comedy show, they tackled a lot of stuff such as, you know, date rape or relationships or drug use. Like those are things that we need back in our culture.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Right, and they did what the Cosby Show couldn't. I think they were so proud of that, as you know, as a fact.
But you know what? I'm not going to discredit the Cosby Show either, because the Cosby Show did what it was supposed to do. They showed a Black family that was working class, and we wasn't, you know, we was always depicted as either slaves or we broke, or, you know, this was the first time that the mother and father had good jobs. The kids were good, you know, even though they mischievous little things, but they were a good core family.
Right. So that's what I meant to say. It wasn't a shot at the Cosby Show. It was, they said that they did a different world so they could do those things on a different world and address them in the way that they did. Because you saw a lot of the shows after address, you know, topics as well. If you look at Rock was one of my favorite shows.
Oh yeah.
You know, even with Family Matters, like they showed the family again, and they were speaking about, you know, racial profiling, you know, racism, all kind of stuff. Like so they found a way to put those things in and kind of address them. You know what I mean? Like I still remember the dude who played Superman. You remember, you know, Kadeem Hardison yoked him up in that cell. You understand what I'm saying? I was like, oh. So it was like, and they said that there was a part where they had a all Black cast. That was the first time that was done on television.
You know what's
when
so
they
crazy?
did that wedding scene with Whitley and all of them, and then all those generations of actors that they brought together.
Yes, it is.
You know? So they said they was just looking around proud. They had never seen it, and each actor and actress in the time had never seen it. So they was all together seeing it, and they looking around. They said a lot of them was just in tears by what they saw. You ain't never see it. You see what I'm saying? So now, if you don't control your narrative, you won't ever see it again. You know what I mean?
You know what's so crazy? UPN, you know, they were one of the first channels to kind of go on a sprue of having Black show after Black show after Black show after Black show. There was Eve, there was Martin, there was so many shows that UPN picked up for urban viewing pleasure. You know, and now that we have what we say ratchet TV. I mean,
They UPN, I thought that because they have Moesha too. I thought they were going in a really good direction, but they were doing a lot of coonery, like Homeboys and Outer Space and stuff like that. It's just like it was clear that their programming was based around, you know, trying to get the Black audience. But after that, they went off the rails. I want to go back to what you were saying about A Different World, though. Can you imagine how many Black kids went to college because of A Different World? How many Black kids went to HBCU?
Yeah, that went up around when Different World was out. HBUC attendance went up.
Of course, yeah.
And so did the sales of college hoodies.
Oh yeah.
Between Martin and A Different World, them hoodies were selling.
Yeah, everybody had the Morehouse or the Stark or the So
matter of fact, I'll even throw French Prince in there. I'll throw in What's the girl?
Living Single.
Living Single.
Right. Yeah,
But
that was two sisters that started that show, Living Single.
The reason why though now I think that we not, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier in terms of like the corporation stuff. The reason why now we probably not going to be able to get like those quality shows is because reality TV don't really require a whole bunch of script writing. You know, you could pay whoever your quote unquote actors are cheap money. You know, put them in an atmosphere, give them some liquor, start some drama, let them fight. But to actually develop a script, develop characters, and all that stuff, I don't know if they want to have that kind of investment. You know,
why do that when you could go get the Jocelyn Hernandez from the strip clubs and all of that? Give her a couple of dollars, and here we have Jocelyn's Cabaret busting wide open. Like,
yeah,
you know, when I looked at Zeus, I thought Zeus would have been, you know, going in the right direction because they have a lot of black shows up there. There's other shows up there besides Ratchet TV, but the thing about it is they focus so much on the ratchet part of it.
Yeah, I was watching. My wife was watching it. I peeked in and I started listening in, and the founder, Lemuel, I think is his name. He was on Fox Soul with Claudia Jordan, and they were having an interview, and he got into this whole back and forth debate. Because one of the guys on there was saying to him just what you said, like, you know, like you have a social responsibility, you know, you have a black network, you're a black executive, you're the founder, that we would have thought that there would have been more highbrow content, but instead your hit shows is Jocelyn's Cabaret. He got some other show with, I think, some dudes fighting or something.
Bad Boys Club, Bad Girls Club, like all of that.
Yeah. So what the dude said though, which I could see both points, because the dude was saying, okay, so how come there's not that level of criticism when you look at the TV stations that air like the Maury and the what's the other joint, Jerry Springer and all that? How come they don't receive the same level of criticism? So I'm guessing that the founder's guy position was like, oh, because I'm a black person, I'm held to a higher moral standard than these other network execs. I don't know. I look at it this way. I think it's like, you know, that there's I think if you don't want to consume that stuff, you turn the TV off. Like, to me, I don't know if that becomes the responsibility of him to make sure that he only puts out this type of programming. Because the reality of it is like, look, we could say that that's the programming we want, but then the dude could put together a network like PBS, and then nobody don't tune in. You know, that's to me more of an indictment of us as people than it is of him, because we'll tune in for Jocelyn's Cabaret. But then if you put something on educational, then dudes is probably gonna be like, nah, I'm not, you know, the channel's whack, I'm not subscribing. That's foul.
You know what? Someone said it in the comments, Ratchet TV keeps black folks pacified. And I believe that. It's kind of true. It's sad to say, but it's kind of true.
He said black folks pacified?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I could see both parts of the argument with that.
Yeah, we had on our podcast, we have that debate a lot where we talk about like what the societal responsibility is, because, you know, people always be like, oh man, you know, like these hip hop artists, they need to stop making this music, and to me it's kind of like these, you know, I don't know if, to me that's like a cop out, or almost telling a parent you don't have to parent.
Right. This starts in your home.
Yeah.
Why are you, you know, a lot of people, she got a lot of flack behind this comment, but I agreed with her, Cardi B, when she said, hey, I'm not a role model. Like, you know, that's your job. You're as parents to be role models. I'm an entertainer. And that's the truth. You know, that's what they're here to do. And then we realize that, you know, some of our kids and even some of us look up to either the legends and some of these artists, but when are we going to take accountability to that? Hey, okay, what they're doing is not what I want from myself or my children or my household.
That's a fact. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely a fact. I think you hit the nail on the head with that. The accountability part, like when something jump off, everybody want to point the finger.
Yeah.
You know, like your kid is out of control. My kid wouldn't be out of control if Cardi B wasn't making WAP.
Right. but your grandmother was busting it open to damn Tutti Frutti back in the day. I mean, come on, like what are we talking about here? Like, make it make sense.
like moms wasn't up there listening to Super Freak
Right, you up there trying to get in there where you fit in at, and now you want to make judgment on these people's songs. Like you got it. History is just repeating itself. It's the same thing, but somewhere in that we need to take accountability.
Yeah, that's a fact. You were saying something, Knowledge?
No, I was laughing.
Yeah, they said over this
laughing.
Tutti Frutti. Said Tutti Frutti.
Oh,
I mean, it's the truth. They made such a big deal about WAP, but there's so Uncle Luke.
Yeah.
Uncle Luke went on a national daytime television show with hoes and freaks, busting it wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always one in every era. Why are we crucifying these ladies for something that's been going on?
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's just passing the buck. It's like, you know what? Like, I don't want to take responsibility for whatever's going on in my household. So, you know, here's the thing that I say also, like, my theory around it is like, to me, music, film, photography, things like that, it's art. And the art that I don't want to consume, I don't consume. So how is it that we could turn on, we talking about Fredro, how is it that people could turn on an Onyx record and be like, this is disgusting, but then go to Italy and see a naked sculpture with a penis out and be like, this is the epitome of beautiful.
Right.
You know, like it's art. You know, if you didn't want your kid to see the statue, you wouldn't take your kid to see the statue. If you don't want your kid to listen to Onyx, don't put on Onyx. You know, don't turn the music on. And I think that, you know, like the other part of it is that as we've gotten older, some of us have become our parents. You know, we become super critical. And we lose sight of the fact that, like you said, like grandma was busting it open to Tutti Frutti.
She was.
Yeah.
Grandma had her little change purse. Her little wig was on backwards at them clubs back in the 60s and was busting it wide open for grandpa. How you think y'all got here? Like, come on.
Tutti Frutti.
Right. I mean, we all know, come on now. A lot of them songs, they masked a lot of those songs back in the day, but they were talking about sex.
Of course they were.
Like, come on now.
Of course they were. Shoot, I knew what Luther was talking about when he made Love Won't Let Me Wait.
Yeah, I mean, we ain't gonna get on Luther, but we damn sure won't talk to us. That's for damn sure.
Dre Stubbs, I hear you, Dre Stubbs. That's a fact. He said the legends are more revered overseas as opposed to in their home country. That's because overseas hip hop is still pure.
Yeah,
the commercialization of hip hop hasn't set in over there yet
at all.
You know, people over there are still buying vinyls and merch, and you know, still breakdancing and still appreciate the art of DJing.
Yep. Concerts are big time over there still. Like, you know, it definitely has changed over here.
Smith and Wesson on tour right now over there.
Yeah. Somebody said Daryl the Damager moved over there.
He been living over there. He been living in Amsterdam for, you know, a few years now. Right, close to 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can live forever. B.B. King toured over there until he died. You see what I'm saying? Like, so there's a love and respect for music overseas. You know,
and appreciate
they still got records, they still got tapes, they still got CDs. You know, all of that. So no matter what else happened, there's still a reverence for culture. So when your culture is not interrupted and it's not capitalized off of, then it can allow to live. I know cats. One of my brothers, DJ, he been DJing over there for 30 years. You see what I'm saying? For 30 years, he been DJing. That's what he do. You see what I'm saying? That's what he does. So it's one of those things where it just live forever.
Yeah.
You know, and you can go through a whole gamut of different music in one night.
Yeah.
And in those other places, they got hip hop clubs. So if you want hip hop, you go to the hip hop club. If you want techno, you go to the techno club. If you want rock, you go to the rock club. If you want the country, you go to the country club. You see what I'm saying? So there, and you know, we got the same things here, but it's just that there's crossover. Everything is blended in. So the amalgamation of hip hop creates a lane where everybody can understand everything that's going on because everything sounds the same, and it's Melly Mel in them. We got Melly Mel in them for the message, but we don't got Melly Mel in them for white lines.
Right.
You understand? Like, so we can't never act like this wasn't a part of this culture. It just was a subset, and now this became more popular than regular hip hop. So
Matter of fact,
these young children are communicating in their language. We got to learn their language.
Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that, brother, because that's like an ongoing discussion that I have with people. Also, that we have a lot of criticism for young folk. Their music, what they do, and everything, and then we try to attempt to engage them, and then wonder why they're not receptive. Ain't nobody trying to hear you if every time you talking to them, you coming at them.
Right.
Like there hasn't been humility on a part of us as elders to sort of be able to humble ourselves a little bit to receive and understand what it is, what their experience is. We've just became very much like preachy, throwing at them like, nah, y'all got to do this. Nah, your music is garbage. Nah, you this, you that, or whatever. And
what our parents say about our music,
right? So it's
and what did their parents say about their music?
History is repeated.
And what did their parents say about their music?
Again.
Yeah, exactly. So
y'all see, people was leaving like, nah, this sounds sacrilegious,
right?
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so your culture,
right? When Ice Cube and them was talking about fuck the police, it was garbage then. Like, I mean, it's a never ending cycle. Repeats itself. So
you gotta be open though. If you're gonna build with the youth or mentor youth or bring them along, you gotta be willing to have a dialogue with them from a standpoint of being receptive to hearing whatever it is that they got going on and what they're listening to. Now, I'll listen to it. That don't mean that I necessarily like it or think it's good, but I'm not just gonna shut it down and discredit all their music. I always tell people all the time, the first time I listened to the Machiavelli album, my mom, God rest her soul, was like, yo, that sounds terrible. What do you? I'm like, yo, this is Machiavelli. You realize what this is? So for me, it's like when my son bring me music to listen to, some of it, I'm like, all right, thanks for putting me on. This is good. Some of it, I'm like, thanks for putting me on. I'm never gonna listen to this song again. But we can.
And that's what sampling was doing. Sampling was finding that alchemical blend between the old and the new. So you can hear Ron Isley, but that's Biggie. So now if you like, okay, it was still there, and it was still a kind of way to pave the way between the sounds, because there was no hip hop sound. Hip hop sound was created out of disco and some of the funk and all of the genres that preceded it. So they made it. They found it in break beats. You see what I'm saying? So you putting all of that together to develop a sound. So where did you come from? A place that's heavy, like the Midwest and the West Coast with funk. Your hip hop music is going to sound like that. So you were acculturated and steeped like that. So your stories come from that. You see what I'm saying? So everybody ain't from a project, but everybody got neighborhoods. You see what I'm saying? So when the Ghetto Boy said the world is a ghetto, there's a ghetto everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So now it's like, okay, I need to find out where the ghetto is, because in the hood I'm good. You see what I'm saying? Because we are acculturated to a certain kind of thing. So I seen some Turks and some Asians and some Indians breakdance that'll put some cats to shame. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was at the spot, like, nah, son, you ain't just about to get that off. I'm gonna be hurting later. We about to get busy up in the joint. You see what I'm saying? So we have to know that art form is effective. Like, people learn English off of hip hop.
That's true.
In places where they don't speak English, they learn English. They know all of the words to the song, and then you ask them something after they got nothing for you. You know what I'm saying? They got nothing for you. I seen Sean P in South America getting busy on the stage. Nobody knew nothing he was saying, but they knew all the words he was saying.
Platforms such as this, mine's, his, are needed because we are building that gap between the new generation and the old generation, to fill in the gap. Like, hey, this is where this culture started at. This is what we're trying to, keep going for you guys. Yeah. So, we need stuff. We need, podcasts such as this or programs such as this. We need people like us.
Yeah. Yo, I was just thinking, over in Serbia, you asked somebody, how you doing? This year, Halloween fell on the weekend. Me and Ghetto Boys trick or treat, and how you doing?
Yes, they be like Scarface. Ghetto Boys. Ghetto Boys.
Man. Yeah, hip hop is definitely hip hop. for us, I think, and what we haven't figured out with, I think, this generation here is like, I know for me, it was helpful in kind of being cross-generational in the sense of hearing those samples gave me even more of an appreciation for those records before me. Like, of course, I heard those records growing up with my parents playing them in the crib, but hearing them incorporated into the music that I like, you know, it added even additional value to it and made me be like, damn, like, oh, I got to go back and listen to this Isley Brothers record, or damn, you know, yo, this is what, you know, Freddie Jackson or whatever it was, you know, or Al Green had this going on. It just gave you a whole different level of appreciation. And that's when it became, I think, cross-generational. So not only was it beneficial for artists before us in terms of from a lucrative standpoint for them getting money from the sampling, but also it gave them another new audience, you know, younger people that actually appreciated their music, that said, okay, you know, I heard More Money, More Problems, you know, let me go and listen to the original Diana Ross record and see what Diana Ross was about, you know. So how we do that with this generation, I have no idea, though.
Work in progress, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, because this generation's a little different when it comes to
They're adaptable. We gotta understand that too. We gotta understand that they went through a pandemic and everybody's still alive.
Right.
They're the most adaptable people on the planet. They're the best we ever made. So we just have to understand how to go in between, because they can go in between. You see what I'm saying? You see them, they was born with these devices, like they got instructions. We struggling with them. They like, oh no, let me see that. What you got to do is so if they can do that with a device,
right?
You can speak their language. They have a digital language. We got an analog language.
Right.
We got to be bilingual or multilingual in regards to our language, because they got Crime Mob and samples of their new music.
Right. What I do want to ask you, men, about though, because since this is part of the culture and that's going on right now, this whole Jada debacle.
They can go back. They can go back in between spaces. All of them. Like, that's why the music don't die overseas. They could put on anything. They listen to all of this stuff that's out now, but you can still put on Criss Cross and they be like, Mac Daddy make you jump.
I'm crying.
You understand? Like, literally, I've been in spots like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. The Mac Daddy, the Mickety Mac come on and everybody go crazy. So they went through, look at all of the eras we put them through in regards to hip hop. We put them through all of the eras. We put them through, you know, the Sugar Hill Gang, through every shift, gangster rap. You understand what I'm saying? Knowledge of self, hip hop, all of the genres, and they went right through all of them from every coast. They went through all of them and still got BB King and Led Zeppelin in the house. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so they did all of that. So it's proof that you can still go through all of those eras and not lose it if it's infused. You got to put it in the joint. You see what I'm saying? Like, I ain't teach my sons how to break dance. They break dance better than me. They have it already. You just have to celebrate it when it come out. You know what I mean? Like, so we no longer celebrate these things when they come out. If it's trash, it's trash. It don't matter what era. It don't matter who it is, whatever. That's the truth. But the other stuff, we could find a way to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? We could find a way to deal with it, you know, for our children's sake. And I think bridging that gap, you know, especially with this pandemic, it taught me a lot in regards to that. Respect their struggle. Their struggle ain't our struggle.
Right.
It's their struggle. Respect their struggle. You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, they don't know what a prom is, a bunch of them. They don't know what a graduation is. They ain't have it. Or they did the shit on the internet.
Right.
Their loved ones died and they had the funeral on the fucking internet, on Zoom.
Right.
Respect their struggle. It's a different struggle. It ain't our struggle.
Right.
It's their struggle. You know what I mean? And indiscriminate to age. These things affect people differently. So when you respect their struggle and take a chance to learning language, it's like learning a foreign language. You learn a couple of words, they be like, oh shit, you trying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm like, what the fuck is a TikTok? How long I'm gonna say what the fuck is a TikTok? You understand? What's a TikTok dance and what the fuck are you doing? And then I saw people with their children doing the TikTok dances on the camera. I said,
Right. And now you got older people than us doing them.
Right. That's a jewel.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a jewel. So.
Yeah. What you were saying, Jazzie? You was asking a question about Jade.
Yeah, I was asking since, because this is part of the culture right now going on. This whole Jada, Will, Chris Rock dismissive of the whole marriage and Augustina. Like, what's y'all take on it as men?
Oh, man. Yo, that's that.
That's Shanon right there, son. That's all you.
Yo, first of all, I wouldn't be involved in no open relationship, no open marriage like that. So that's to me, that's the first place that that Will went wrong. But you know what I think that we've witnessed? I don't think that Will was upset with Chris Rock. I think that was a culmination of him being a butt of a joke for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just like it's how much can you take?
Yeah.
Where you being emasculated in public. And I think that what we seen was just the end result of him being like, yo, I can't take it no more. As far as like his response to getting physical with Chris Rock, I don't know if I condone him. I respect him, holding his wife down, but I don't know if I condone him getting physical in that forum. And I think that when you're in a position like, it's easier for me to say because I'm not in that position.
Right.
And I'm sort of Monday morning quarterbacking it, but it was a lot on the line for him. Like, the Academy Award, it's the first time that, it's a black producer and, all these eyes is on the show for it to go a ride in. So that kind of looked bad. Like, I think he could have handled it differently, but I understand why he flipped out. I don't think it was geared towards Chris Rock. I think he just felt like, yo, I'm just tired of being emasculated. Yeah. And it just got to the point where I don't want to be the butt of the jokes no more. But
you know what? And I get that. I agree with you. I don't think it was the right time. I don't think that he should have took that out on Chris Rock. Who you should have took it out on was your wife.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors. Well, or even on that red table, because she been putting everything on that table as for the world to see.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I mean, my thing is, she said in a couple of episodes back, is now they're, pulling up stuff. She didn't want to marry you.
Yeah, I heard about that.
She said that on the episode. It was her mom, Willow, and Will. And she said, hey, I didn't want to get married. He had just basically in a graphic sense, they fucked. I guess he made a, and she felt like, oh, okay, something has to be done because now I'm pregnant. Her mom was like, oh, y'all got to get married.
A shotgun marriage?
Pretty much. That's pretty much how it was put on the table.
Damn.
In that episode. Because she clearly said she didn't want to do it.
Damn.
So, but the mother was like, that's funny because I thought that you didn't want to have a wedding. Not that you didn't want to get married. You didn't want to have a wedding. So it was a shock to her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my thing is this. Will, you let this woman publicly humiliate you for a while now with the Augustine stuff, with just day-to-day putting your marriage business on that red table, which I think should have been kept in your household. And you took all of that on Chris Rock because he made a G.I. Jane joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you done lost your career. All your stuff was on hold over Jada Pinkett Smith. Somebody that was for the streets.
Yeah. I think, people lose sight of like these celebrities. At the end of the day, these people are still human beings.
Yeah.
And people forget that they got emotions and like I think if I was ever in that limelight, if I didn't have tough enough skin, I'd probably just turn my comments off. Like, because some of the stuff that I see sometimes with people, there are people who go through these comments and they make it a point to respond back to all these people that say something negative about them. To me, that's too time consuming, Yeah. But I get like for a dude like Will Smith, if every time you turn on your TV or if every time you open up your social media, you know, all this stuff is popping up and it's an algorithm about all this stuff involving Jada and all the her being candid, these candid conversations. It's just it's public embarrassment, you know. And I think what's sad about it is I predict that within the next 2 or 3 years, if it lasts that long, they'll be divorced.
Well, he supposedly he's asking for a divorce now.
Yeah, I could see. I could see him divorcing her.
I mean, but you should have done that. I mean, this woman been dragging you for 2-3 years now. She done basically went on a public.
Or is that social media? You know, like
yeah, she done been on social media talking about how you was in an entanglement, and
these people
like,
making.
My thing is, he wasn't the first choice.
They're making money off of all of this stuff. Like this is content is king. They're making money off of this. So
but it's more of a come up for her, not for him. It's a come up for her.
See, the same thing make you laugh, make you cry.
That's a fact.
We gotta remember, like house rules. They got house rules of open communication and free expression, and everything is free and free and free. There's no restriction. There's no restriction on nothing. So you know that those are the parameters.
Right.
Look at the results of that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you like how long you gonna do that? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's the lesson in that shit right there? Like everything free. Like now you gotta have some kind of restriction. You see what I'm saying? In regards to dignity, in regards to self-respect. Like otherwise everything is for sale. Everything is out there. Everything will be out there.
Said that comment. He just said that, you know, she never got over Pac, and that's why she invited Snoop to the red table to get closure, which is crazy to me because if you're a real Pac fan, first of all, he was not in love with Jada. Let's just be clear. He had a whole fiance. Okay.
And he was for the streets. He was for the streets.
Come on, like in her mind, I feel like she fabricated and made up this whole love story between her and Pac. Like she want to be Bonnie and Clyde, and it's not like that.
He was for the community. He was a community advocate.
Right, like girl, sit down, child.
See, but all of that openness, all of the freeness, they see. Look, that's trauma all the way through.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't. You out here doing this. I'm out here doing this. You doing this with this dude. Blah blah blah. Whatever. You know, and y'all doing all kind of stuff, and then y'all coming back together. You know what I mean? Y'all both wilding. You understand? Like there's some issues all the way around. Like, and that shit is good until it ain't. You know what I mean? Like somebody could have got seriously hurt or killed. You know what I mean? Like all kind of stuff could have happened. It ain't just the small thing we talking about. We just talking about feelings. Like, so it come back to feelings and how the fuck he felt and how the fuck she felt. And then you dealing with this person and that person. And you taking on that shit and bringing that shit back home. That could have been from 12 other different motherfuckers. Right. Like you thinking it's you, it's not you.
Right.
You in that space. Like,
right. At this point, like, we'll just need to walk away. Like, damn, I feel like I'm looking at a Lifetime movie of the week network. Like, bruh, like, you got, like, sis, get your bags and leave. It's okay. Yeah. Like,
this is probably a business arrangement at this point.
Yeah, that shit is out in the public.
Is that, though? Like,
yeah. Who want to be out in the public like this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Y'all be like, yo, Cardi and them getting that bag. Like, this will come along with the bag. You want this?
Right.
Like this? Nah, I'm good. I'll take the finances.
Like he getting the Wendy Williams treatment. As far as I'm concerned, he's getting the Wendy Williams treatment.
Slaughter you out here. Slaughter you out here.
Now, that's what you make a good point, Nas, because a lot of people don't realize that a lot of people confuse fame with wealth. Like, there's a lot of people that's famous and broke.
Yeah,
I'd rather have the wealth and nobody know me.
They'll never know who you are. Like, they'll never. If you're real wealthy, the wealthier you get, the less and less and less you are known in the public eye. Somebody got to do some research to find you.
Yeah, it's crazy because you look at a dude like. Well, I mean, you can't say Elon Musk because Elon Musk is pretty popular, but you look at a dude like probably like a Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett probably could walk down the street, faster than sticky fingers,
right?
And people wouldn't know the difference. Like, damn,
it's crazy.
The day and age we're in.
And the Rock Boys is out there on the hunt. Did you see the Rock Boys? Tony said it's 10 of us. You guys see all 10 of us? Yo, that shit was wild. It was so wild how one action changed the whole span of what the entertainment industry was doing. That one incident. So now all of the comedians who had wrote all their jokes and had everything all together had to pivot because that has to be the talk of everybody's conversation. Chris Rock came out and said, yo, I had a whole nother thing prepared. And he's like, yo, fuck, I ain't talking about nothing until I get paid. You see what I'm saying? So it just makes sense. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then now he's in control of what he has to say. It don't matter what's being said about him. He ain't saying shit. His brothers is out there on the strip. Like, yo, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and the other instances for the people who not well known, comedians fight all the time with people from the crowd. Eddie Griffin said he'd been in 500 fights behind what he said on stage. And most of the time, some people came to the stage or was waiting for him after the show. Yeah. That's real. Like, we don't think about a little comedian like Eddie Griffin getting into. No, he said, no, I'll beat a bunch of big motherfuckers' ass because they got upset about what they said. Look at like T.K. Kirkland.
Get emotional.
Look at a T.K. Kirkland or Corey Holcomb or something like, come on, man, come on, son. Like people would be wanting to see you.
I'll do you one better. Last night's verses, BB, as holy as he is, got up there. He was talking smack. And a lot of people in the comments were offended because he was up there in fun of the verses, talking smack with Mary. Oh, this is a holy thing. Why is he doing it? This is all in fun, guys. Like, calm down.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this though. If I was Chris Rock, as a man, Chris Rock got hella restraint because so once he would have let his hands go on me, I would have, we would have been scrapping right there on national TV.
Yo, what if it was like a Mike Epps, Cat Williams type of situation, that would have went a little different.
Look at all the other shit that got overshadowed that night. Samuel L. Jackson finally got an award, and he got it from Denzel. You understand what I'm saying? That shit, it ain't happened. Questlove, that shit ain't happened. All of the shit, you see what I'm saying? With all of the people who was working, it all got overshadowed, and it was right on time for whatever they got going on. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff got overshadowed, and now these things won't even get talked about.
Will Smith owed Chris Rock 5 minutes. Chris Rock got to get back. Like, I'm telling you, soon I get his brothers. His brothers. he got that off is because it was Will Smith. So I guess if you see Will Smith walking up to the stage, you ain't gonna think much about it. But if it was a random walking up, ain't no way I'm gonna let a dude get that close to me. Like how you call it. Even if he would have swung, I don't see how Chris Rock wasn't able to. Because this is your natural instinct to defend yourself.
But the ultimate jab was when she comes back and says, well, I don't need defending. I don't know why he did that. Girl.
Damn if you do it, damn if you don't. Like, that's what
you stand by your husband at some point. Like, dang. What
was the car ride? What was the car ride like going home that night, you think?
No, and she probably called Augustina and told him what happened while he was in the damn car. That's probably what happened.
No, it was popping. It was popping. Damn that. It was popping. My man did that shit and still left with the award. Okay, he got that. So,
which a lot of people don't think he should have got it.
The next day or two after, then that's when the shit settled it down.
I'm gonna be real with you.
I seen him at the after party. He was getting jiggy with it. Okay, he had the shit pop. That shit was popping. Okay. Hey, Jay was like, "That's what we do." Jay was like, "That's what we do." Okay, that's what we do. Okay, so I was like, all of the gulliness came out with the whole fam. So
I haven't seen the award show in its entirety in probably like 10 years. Like, I don't care if it's the MTV, the BET, the VH1, Oscar, Tony, Academy. I just don't have the wherewithal. I can't sit through them. Like,
they're not excited anymore. To be honest, the BET awards suck. The past couple of years, they have sucked.
I couldn't tell you. I don't even watch them. yeah, it was a progression. Like I went from watching them to the point where I'm like, I'll see the performances online to now I'm like, I don't even need to see the performances. Like,
right.
You know,
like that used to be the highlight of the culture, which is crazy about it. Everybody used to be so excited. Oh, this award show gonna be lit. Da, 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 da. Now it's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, nah.
Who performed again?
Yeah. See, Dre Stump said, couldn't be me eating that. I'm telling you, like, yo, your natural reflexes would have been to throw your hands. It'd have been all what channel was it on? Channel 7? It would have been all over Channel 7. Like, Will would have been, we would have been shaking right there on that stage.
And then to add insult to injury, I still would have made more jokes about Jada after that. Like, it would have been ongoing the whole rest of the night.
My man got jiggy with it in the after party. I don't care what y'all talking about.
At first, I thought it was, to be honest, I thought they had planned it. I thought it was like, this is something to promote his movie. And, Chris was going on tour. He's back out doing comedy again. I thought it was, something to promote. But I'm like, oh, no, now. Wait a minute.
Yo, he Hollywood slapped him, too.
Yeah.
Like that, yo. He Hollywood slapped him like, yo, the Wild Wild West slapped him.
Like he gave him a you besmirched me type of smack. Like, how dare you?
Yo, man. Oh, man. So Knowledge, it look like we're going to be getting Caddy on another night?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. There was some, technical difficulties on his end, and that's a part of the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that's a part of the game. So
he said the 9.6 velocity.
Okay.
Yo,
he's right though.
Dre's a wild one right there.
Yo, he can't.
Yes, and then fixed his suit as he walked back, like. Nigga, me out of character.
He walked back like the Wild Wild West dude. What was the dude? He played on Wild Wild West.
Yeah, when the 6 degrees of separation slap, yo.
Yeah, dude, he would have. Me and him, we would have probably both got locked up that night.
Not locked up.
Yo, the Academy would have never had neither one of us. 10 years, they would have never had neither one of us back.
My boy said, "Wow." We don't sleep with respect to shit.
And then went up there and cried. Like, went up there, did a whole performance and cried after the fact.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are actors. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
all that. This is actors. This is entertainment. They do shit, So it's like
my man gave that one episode of Fresh Prince when his dad left him. You know what I'm saying? He gave that type of seed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, me and him we would have. Hell no.
Then he was out there looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, that would have been.
That was nuts, yo. That was a whole soap opera right there.
Yeah.
That was a whole soap opera.
Chris Rock can't even show his face in public. Like, yo, he forever. Yo, ain't you the dude that Will Smith put hands on?
Nah, he was out he was outside the next day.
He on tour.
Don't get it twisted. He on tour.
Nah, yo, people gonna see him, but
his tickets went up.
Sure did.
His ticket sales went up 300%.
Because people want to see if he's gonna say something about it. But now he gonna be to everybody. Yo, ain't you the dude that Will Smith put hands on? Like,
yo, he had a TV show for 4 seasons called Everybody Hates Chris. Man, he got punched in the face every episode. Like, he'll get no props. He'll get no props for that. Like,
he about to get the crazy civil lawsuit. I'm sure. That's what he probably gonna do.
He's probably gonna be some undisclosed slide money. You know what I'm saying? Some undisclosed slide money.
Yeah.
He'd be all right. Shit.
Put the beats on him. Beats by Dre. He put the beats on. He beats by Will on him. Yo.
Jazzie, your homie 50 is wilding again. What's up with that shit?
Yo, that's
Since we here, we might as well.
I was just about to say that because 50
is wild.
Yo, you know what kills me about him? This is the thing. Like, I generally like 50 because I like his pettiness and he's a funny dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed that he always picks at well-established men. Like, what? I'm you know, this is just me. I don't know how y'all feel about this. It's just me saying this. I'm starting to think what Vivica said is like,
Yeah.
so you want to tell us something that we don't know? Like,
Oh man. Yeah, he trolling. 50 be trolling hard.
yeah, you trolling the wrong one with Jay. You better leave Jay alone now. Jay, that nigga will make you disappear. Leave that nigga alone. That nigga's a time traveler. Leave that nigga the fuck alone. Okay?
Yo, yeah, nah, 50 you trolling. What this one? Didn't he spend this weekend trolling on Benzino and Young Buck too?
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know. Benzino, like, that dude just need to sit down at all costs. He don't need to do any type of interviews or anything, because anytime he open his mouth, it's always craziness that comes out. All the time. Like, and it's crazy because Benzino, like, you know, you had a good run when you was an artist. Even when you came on Love and Hip Hop, you still had your dignity. Now, bro, you just, come on. Like,
yeah. Nah, Benzino squandered an empire too with Dave Mays when they had the Source.
Yep. And then, like, you beefing with your daughter and all, like, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's all entertainment. Nobody cares. It's all entertainment. It's something for somebody to meme and something for somebody to throw in some kind of sketch and whatever, some kind of something. Avion Crockett gonna make fun of it. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be it's jokes for whoever.
But I just think like 50 need to leave Jay alone. That's the one nigga you don't need to troll. Leave him alone. He makes people disappear. Like
yeah.
They say he don't care. He getting that power money. His money long now.
It ain't long like Jay-Z though.
Damn,
he said I got money longer than Trace Smoke. You know what I'm saying? Talk that shit. Fuck that shit. He gonna be around. I love the business acumen and the moves that he's making.
I agree.
The trolling, he wouldn't be him if he. That's how he came in the game. This shit's wrestling. He came in the game as a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Talking that shit. He went at the whole industry. He suffered for it. He got paid off of it, whatever. And that's a part of the character. You know,
did you see he got he put out people to look for Tierra Marie? Like he got people looking for Tierra Marie for his money. This dude is what's wrong with him?
Yo, yeah, he's
what was it? 2 weeks ago, he was like, "Yo, Monique, blah blah blah, we gonna do something." Blah 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 blah. Blah. Next thing you know,
back on.
The motherfuckers came snatched up. Like, nah, we ain't gonna let 50 get a hold of her.
Yep. Back on. I thought that was dope. I thought that was really dope.
Yeah.
I thought that was really dope.
Yeah.
I would have rather seen her with 50 than with that other fucker. You know?
Yo, but let me tell you,
he did that to save face. That's all that was.
My thing with her though is that I understand some of her stuff, but some of it is like outlandish. Like, so she took the role, right? So she took that role when she played in Precious, and she took it for short bread. And that movie exceeded the expectations. She won an Academy Award, I think, for it. It exceeded the expectations. And Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and Oprah, I guess they wanted her to do these press runs and promo and all that. And she wanted to get paid for it. They decided not to pay her. You know, I think her downfall though was like, and it's sad to say this, like her husband, when she got with her husband, to me, he's one of them dudes that he gave like Wendy Williams' husband vibes or whatever. Like, you know, like his business acumen, I think, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And then she was saying stuff that like I could get with, like she was saying that she feel like she deserved more from Netflix. To me, the way I look at it is like, yo, anybody could say, you got the right to say whatever you want to say you deserve. What it come down to is who's willing to pay for it, right? So if they got the analytics and they look at the analytics and say like, nah, you ain't getting X amount of $1 million, we offering you XYZ, and you say no, then that to me, that kills the deal. There's no deal to be made. But then for her to go on like this press tour with her husband, you know, and to me, she weaponized race, you know, how you call it, sex. She just weaponized so much stuff that I'm like,
sexism, all of that.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, is it really about that, or is it really about that they looked at the back end and was like, we can't give you $2 million because we only going to generate $500,000 off of it, kind of thing. And then I'm the kind of dude that I always get leery when you looking at somebody else's deal and using somebody else's deal and you got hate because whatever they got, and you like, yo, they got that, so I should get that. You know, like, yo, maybe they just negotiated a better deal.
And you also got to throw in that person that she was talking about, which I think was like Amy Schumer or some of the
yeah.
She has a better body of work than when it comes to Monique. To be honest with you, Monique, this is the thing, and I love Monique. Always been a fan of hers, but you are Black famous. Let's be real. You are Black famous, sweetie. Amy Schumer has been in nationally famous households. And I'm not saying that she's better than Monique. I'm just saying her body of work is better than Monique's. So they were paying you off of that. It didn't come down to race, just like because they offered Chris a big bag as well. So if it came down to race, why did Chris get a big bag?
Yeah. Nah, you get what you negotiate. Like, so to me, if she could have went in there and stuck them up and got $2 or $3 million from them, God bless them. I don't see anything wrong with that. But if you don't get it, you can't turn around and try to weaponize like, oh, yo, I ain't get it because I'm Black. Nah, you ain't get it because your previous shows that you had on the platform performed XYZ based on the analytics that they have. They know the demographics. Like, all this stuff now is data driven. So they know all the stuff. So for her to be like, I don't want to do business with them no more, I respect that, because you could be like, nah, they try to underpay me, I don't want to do business. But then to go on this whole press junket, you going around telling anybody who listen, yo, this is horrible and this, that. And then I seen the interviews with like her husband just going rogue, saying all kind of crazy shit. Like,
that's because her husband, Sis, like that I like to call him Sis. Sis want to be Monique, okay? That's the problem. Her biggest downfall is that husband. His Sis want to be in the limelight so bad. Like, he's not really negotiating good deals for you. Like, let Sis do his own thing, okay? Sis is good to help you lose weight, in the background like he been doing. But the business stuff, get somebody else, Mo. Like.
But Jazzie, you know what's crazy about that?
Get 50. That's why she's supposed to be with 50.
Right. Okay. This is what's crazy about that, though. She'll weaponize that and say, oh, you want to attack a Black woman because the Black man is standing behind her. Her Black man is standing behind her, support her. It's just no kind of accountability for like, yo, this is what we willing to pay you. Do you want it or not? Like, to me, that's what a deal is around. Like, there's some negotiating. If you can't meet terms, if y'all can't come to terms, then there's no deal. But everybody that I can't make a deal with, I'm not gonna go around and be like, yo,
he's standing behind her because he's trying to put on her shoes. That's why he's standing behind her. Okay, I ain't about to sugarcoat it. He's standing behind Sis because he's trying to try on her shoes and get in her position, and she not really seeing what's going on. Okay, you should have aligned yourself with 50. You probably would have had better business deals with 50. Even as petty as he is, he's a great businessman. Can't take that from him.
Since why he trying to put on his shoes. Oh man.
I mean that's really what's going on.
She went to She Daniels. She went to She Daniels because that's the same. That's the same she.
Oh man, yo.
Like, it's the same thing. Like Wendy, you put all that faith in your husband. Look at you.
Yeah.
You damn near on your damn deathbed because of this dude. Yeah. Your show went to somebody else. Like, this is bananas.
Yeah.
And she has a great body of work. A lot of people don't like Wendy Williams. I love her.
Nah, she's a media. Yeah. Nah, you can't. Yeah, she's definitely like. Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna
like, yo, she was one of the first people to put Diddy shit out there. I still remember back in the day when she was on the boat and Diddy, had the little white parties going on. Like, she is what she is, but she was delivering.
Yeah, nah, she how you call it? Like, she definitely is a true media giant.
Yeah,
it's sad to see her. She's a shell of herself now. So it's but yeah, for me, like the stuff with Monique, like, yeah, I respect her. I'm just trying to think of like what movies that I actually saw and liked her in other than Precious. Honestly, like You know, I'm just not her comedy. I like her. You know, her comedy's okay.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what would make her think that she would. Well, actually, I do know what makes her warrant or make her think that she should get it. Same way that if I went to Netflix, I'd be like, y'all, give me $5 million. I'm gonna start to negotiate that $5 million too. But then when they
that's
look at analytics,
cool. That's cool. But let's be real here. Amber, Billy, Jennifer, ain't nobody, none of them people I just named is watching Fat Girls with Monique in it. They're not watching fucking Parkers on UPN. They're not watching Precious.
They're watching that shit.
Okay. I mean, that's the bottom line. She was in movies such as that.
What about Soul Plane? You think they watched? She was in Soul Plane, right?
Definitely, yeah, she was, but they definitely weren't watching it for her ass. They probably watched it, if anything, because of Tom Arnold was in the motherfucker. Okay.
Oh man. Oh, y'all hilarious. Yo, I'm a dip, but it's been a pleasure. Knowledge as always. Thanks for having me, Jazzie. It was nice talking to you. Hopefully, we can connect further down the line.
Yo, tell the people this wasn't clickbait. Tell them that we talked to Caddillac Tah, man, backstage. Man.
We did talk. We did talk.
We did.
But we gonna run it back though. Osborne gonna run it back and get the full interview for y'all.
Right, he gonna get his get back. So, but
they're gonna be like, you ain't never met no Martin Luther the King. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't on there with no Caddillac Tah shot.
Nah, I can vouch for him. He was.
Yeah, he was definitely up here, guys. For real. He had some technical difficulties, but you know. But it's been a pleasure, boy. Like always.
Yeah, now Osborne got that body of work too, so he'll be back.
Shout out to platforms before y'all go. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to platforms.
Jazzie.
Boom.
Well, you know, y'all can catch me on Something for the Culture. I'm on Facebook, IG, Twitter, YouTube as well, Something for the Culture podcast. And it's every Friday night. Matter of fact, I have an episode coming up. I'll have Jerome D. Rose on. We'll be talking about a very intense conversation about bitter baby mamas coming up this Friday. Next Friday, tune back in. We'll have DJ K Slay, who just passed away, his brother's on there. So yeah, y'all check me out on there.
No Ideas Original Podcast. Follow us at No ID Orig. We got this Wednesday. We got Benny the Butcher's artist. I'm Young World. It's actually gonna be on our IG, so it's gonna be IG Live Wednesday 9 p.m. Friday, we'll probably just have a regular show. Myself, my co-host Zane, and Rob. Pull up, tune in, join the chat, subscribe to us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Knowledge Born, it's been a pleasure, brother. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Always great dialogue. It's nice to meet you.
So, likewise.
We're gonna connect again soon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, once y'all dig into their archives, y'all gonna see why I'm with them. They're great people. You know what I'm saying? And they really love our culture. Hey, they really love our culture. You understand what I'm saying? You see, and they know holds barred with their shit. That's why I love it. You know what I'm saying? So,
salute everybody. Have a good night. Peace.
Have a good night, y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace. So we definitely out of here. And we will have Caddillac Tah back on soon. So y'all be looking out here or looking out on IG, whatever works best for him. You know, shout out to Jazzie J, Something for the Culture. Make sure y'all check her out. She's going to be with the brother Rome. Y'all know Rome from Melvin Air Podcast and Hip Hop Legends Podcast, my conglomerate, and my other conglomerate, Mel. You know, the other half of Hip Hop Legends Podcast, Melvin Air Podcast. You see what I'm saying? He Hip Hop Legends Podcast too, you know what I'm saying? By default, you know. So check them out. That's gonna be a colossal show this Friday over there. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. You know what I mean? And for the people who came through, shout out to Dre for providing commentary the whole show. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Dre, shout out to Barry, shout out to the fam that was out here linking and rocking with us. You understand? Subscribe. We got a bunch of stuff coming up on this platform and in person. So with that, y'all, we out.
abolitionist with the vision gift, seeing the deliverance from the ignorance, cognitive dissonance. Future, I envision this. On and off the mic, I speak right like this is what the mission is. I know the wisdom biz and overstand like who know and bear that witnesses. I am the power refined, God man. Equity too high to equal the caveman. God's son, true builder of the land. Destroyer of the demons, I'm a poppin' where they stand. Word of biz, born exposing, oppose a plan. It's Deacon Benny, microphone Jones with a force hand. The next level cipher writer, spark the minds, I light the fire. Call me Mr. Mystifier, I'm used to gift to lift us higher. With the frequency that frequently fit, inspire. Elders and young thugs that do what they do, where they do what they dumb. They lazy, they think we dumb. We put the work in system that a system to be numb. Make them good Christians, but don't link them to where they from. So I write rhymes with them ancient guidelines. I fight crime sitting on the sidelines. But when they got the blind eyes, I just treat them like they dumb.
When knowledge get done, unified we're one. The race we run, before they shot that gun.
To the knowledge.
When knowledge gets done, we won. The race we run, before they shot that gun and run.
Knowledge.
Ones walk with me, twist your loud, get your double shots of yak. Sit down, have a talk with me. I'm from an era where certain shit just couldn't fly. You tell another man suck your dick, you might die. These new dudes got it confused, thinking it's a game, until somebody hitting at their ass, bringing the pain. But that's the plan, they want us to kill ourselves. Our existence is up to us, no one else is responsible for raising our daughters and the queens and our sons and the kings. Teaching them everything about necessary tools we need to use for survival. It's way bigger than reading Qurans or the Bible. That's gonna go over the heads of many. Thick skin, homie, I got plenty, so I'll be ready for the backlash and slander coming from my own people. It's sad to say, but we'll never equal our full potential as long as we following what they teach us, telling lies. All in 8 books, it never reach us, at least us, the ones with some knowledge of self. But trying to wake my people up is a struggle with self. Instead of begging for a seat at their table, let's build one. As soon as they try to violate, let's kill one. That's where my heart at. A couple 100 years of the same treatment gave us Obama, so we think we even. I ain't believing none of this bullshit, them puppeteers speaking, telling us lies each and every weekend. Banana in the tailpipe tactics. To tell the truth, I feel we moving backwards. We got a lot of actors playing the part, but it ain't in their heart, so what's it worth? Got brothers dressing up like chicks, toting the purse. Everybody capitalizing off us. We ain't too far from giving up our seat on the back of the bus.
When knowledge get done, unified we're one. The race we run, before they shot that gun.
The knowledge.
When knowledge gets done, unified we won. The race we run, before they shot that gun and run.
To the knowledge.